Coming up in today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, see how the Tourism Ministry is rewarding excellence in the sector. Then, we'll turn the spotlight on the 4-H Club's Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program. And later, get information on the latest improvements in the tax collection system. I'm Audrey Williams. All that and more after the news of the day.
Artists, dancers, songwriters, protect your work from copycats and secure your intellectual property. The Intellectual Property Rights Law guards the rights of owners of creative works in the scientific, industrial, literary, artistic, musical, and dramatic fields. It covers several areas. Protect your net worth, protect your legacy, build Jamaica's creative and industrial industry. For more details on protecting your creative expression, contact the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, April 19. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is echoing local projections for the Jamaican economy to continue its growth trend. The fund is projecting a 2% growth for the 2017-2018 financial year, bolstered mainly by construction and tourism. The announcement comes in a statement from the IMF's Executive Board confirming that Jamaica has passed its first review under the Precautionary Standby Agreement. It voiced strong support for the government's programs towards economic responsibility and growth. Among other things, the IMF has commended the government for taking steps to move from direct to indirect taxation, which it says will further expand the tax base and support growth. The IMF says government's sustained macroeconomic discipline and visible reforms have boosted stability and confidence. Inflation will decrease with the Bank of Jamaica's plan to introduce a market-based exchange rate pricing mechanism, and an increase in social spending in the 2017-2018 budget will provide greater insulation for the nation's poor and vulnerable. The IMF, meanwhile, is urging Jamaica to continue on its path by taking decisive policy actions to improve public sector resource allocation and efficiency, which will lead to productive spending. Among the targets, a reduction in the wage bill, strengthening budgetary controls, as well as lowering pension costs. A reduction in the number of public sector bodies while improving their monitoring is also being encouraged by the IMF. Jamaicans can now access free Wi-Fi service at 4 new locations across the island. They are St. William Grant Park and Olympic Way Hip Strip in Kingston and St. Andrew, Junction Town Centre in St. Elizabeth, and the Mandible Town Centre in Manchester. The public Wi-Fi sites bring to 6 the number of free access points on the island. Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Andrew Wheatley made the announcement Tuesday as he contributed to the 2017-2018 sectoral debates. Minister Wheatley says the availability of public Wi-Fi is part of government's plan to create a knowledge-based society.
These are initiatives geared towards improving the lives of all Jamaicans. We are ensuring, Mr. Speaker, that every nook and cranny we have connection. We are touching the lives of every corner, every single Jamaican.
Meanwhile, Minister Wheatley has instructed the Universal Service Fund, USF, to explore ways to reduce the delivery cost of community access points, CAP sites, across the island. The minister says the USF has been tasked with deploying solar systems on all newly developed CAP sites, as well as retrofitting old ones.
The Universal Service Fund was also instructed, Mr. Speaker, to develop programs to engage members of the community, to train and teach them about the value of the CAPs, and to show the kinds of opportunities that can be derived from the use of the CAP. I also instructed the Universal Service Fund to develop community awareness programs to ensure that the immediate community and surrounding areas know where they can find their CAP sites, and explore new ways of lowering the costs of keeping CAP sites up and running.
Still in Parliament, amendments to the Defence Act to create an arm of the Jamaica Defence Force called the National Service Corps have been passed. During last Wednesday's debating of the bill, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the Service Corps will now become the route through which youth 18 to 23 years old enlist in the Army. Youth will join, spend a year being trained in military, vocational, and wider life training, after which they will choose to discontinue or sign a longer-term contract with the Army. Prime Minister Holness also disclosed that the National Service Corps is designed to serve all interested Jamaican youth at varying levels of education.
There is a pre-technology training aspect which focuses on helping persons who have insufficient subjects to qualify for the NCT vet level training courses at the JDF's Technical Training Institute or other accredited HART facilities. So we are going to the lowest, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that they are catered to.
And the bill, which will give the Prime Minister the authority to declare any high crime area of the island a zone for special security operations and community development, has been sent to a joint select committee of Parliament. They will consider the bill and make a report to the lower house. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck will chair the committee, which will sit jointly with the committee appointed by the Senate. Other members of the House are Robert Montego, Floyd Green, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, Peter Bunting, and Fitz Jackson. And finally, the public is being warned to be extra careful when purchasing green ginger. This, as 450 pounds of green ginger treated with topsin was stolen from the Agriculture Ministry's research station at Orange River in St. Mary between April 14 and April 16. The Agriculture Ministry says if the ginger treated with topsin is consumed, it can lead to severe vomiting, diarrhea, and headache. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Every time there's a strong breeze, we are full up a leaf. End of my nightmare.
She can't chop down the guava tree and get away with it. It's a bearing fruit tree. It's alright. Me and I will have it out in here today.
Lord Jesus.
Move, move.
Dude, stop. John, want here, man.
But,
John, look here. At least hear what she have to say first, no? Hear what she have to say. No, but don't bother the war situation, man. Listen, we can go down to the Restorative Justice Center, you know, man, and sort this thing out. You don't want to set up yourself for jail? Come on, let's sort out this thing. Once and for all.
Restore the peace, restore the love, restore the niceness. Restorative justice. Respect each other.
A program of the Ministry of Justice funded through CSJP.
Every year, millions of visitors come to the island, not only for the sun, sea and sand, but also the superb customer service. Recently, workers who excel in this area were recognized and rewarded by the Tourism Minister himself. Take a look.
Tourism Service Excellence Awards National Champion in the individual category is Simone Folks.
Tourism Service Excellence Awards National Champion in the organization category goes to Couple Saint-Souci.
The massage therapist and the 150-suite romantic resort captured the overall titles in the reintroduced Tourism Service Excellence Program Awards. The Tourism Service Excellence Program TSEP Awards was held recently in St. James. It was introduced in 2008 and later shelved for 4 years until Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett announced its return last year.
It is the people of Jamaica that has made this industry what it is, and therefore we should not hesitate at all in extolling their virtues and in rewarding them for the work that they have done.
So the TSEP Awards, with all its glitz and fanfare, was reintroduced under the management of the Tourism Product Development Company, with support from the Tourism Enhancement Fund and private entities. Nominations for the awards were accepted from the accommodation subsector, attractions, ground transport and tour operators, craft artisans, customs and immigration officers, and red cap porters, to name a few. The winners were selected from 150 nominees. It began with the regional winners. The individual finalists included a tour guide from Kingston.
Just like what Bob Marley would say, irie. It made me feel irie.
Negril-based scuba diving instructor, customs officer from Montego Bay, hotel lifeguard in Port Antonio, and a spa therapist in Ocho Rios. The regional winners among organizations were Jamaica Pegasus for Kingston, Couples San Souci for Ocho Rios, Negrils Sunset at the Palms Resort, Trident Hotel for Port Antonio, Appleton Estate Rum Tour on the South Coast, and VIP attractions in Montego Bay. Simone Folks' road to individual island champion for tourism service excellence began with her employment in the housekeeping department at Sandals 4 years ago and evolved with her promotion to spa therapist.
The nominees, they were all exceptional and amazing, and just to be a nominee meant so much. Imagine to win for the resort area. I am blown away, and I now know I am capable of so much, and I'm ready to take on everything.
Couple San Souci won the organization title from an illustrious list of nominees.
They make me feel extremely happy, not for myself only, as an individual, but for the entire team, for the entire workers of Couple San Souci. They are extremely happy to be able to be recognized to be the national champion.
We are looking at ensuring that tourism becomes an avocation rather than a transition activity. So you don't come to tourism on your way to somewhere else. You come to tourism for a vocation with an income arrangement and a mobility and transitional activity that enables you to develop a career path. So you can be assured of sustainable employment in an industry which is a sustainable industry.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
The 4-H Clubs of Jamaica is training young people to tap into the earning potential of the agricultural sector with their Youth Entrepreneurship Training Program. Find out more in our next feature.
The Jamaica 4-H Clubs has rolled out an agri-entrepreneurial training program to assist 510 young people develop the skills to start their own businesses. Dubbed the Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program, REAP, it will run for 3 years and target young people between the ages of 18 and 30 in rural communities across the island. Executive Director of the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, Dr. Arnold says REAP aims to reduce unemployment among youth through the promotion of businesses in agriculture. The first phase started in November 2016 at the 4-H Training and Production Center at Denby in Clarendon. This will end in July 2017.
We will be taking the first set of 170 youngsters drawn from 13 parishes from rural Jamaica, and we will take them through an entrepreneurial program. And we are going to be having the finest people in this country who will be providing them with that cradling, so we will get them over the challenging part of business development. Once they have demonstrated a readiness for business, the Jamaica 4-H Clubs will provide them with the venture inputs to start their own businesses.
Among the training partners are the Heart Trust NTA and the National Youth Service NYS. They will engage participants in areas such as personal development, business development and management, financial literacy, and provision for startup capital. The program will also build capacity in information technology, technical training for specific areas, and skills to access and capitalize on business opportunities in the agriculture sector.
The entrepreneurial aspect of the program was actually developed by Heart, NYS, and the 4-H Club. The NYS developed a level 1, a 101 training program in entrepreneurship. Heart came on board and they have an established model. And what we did was we brought both models together to develop this unique model. At the end of it, they will get units of competence from Heart Trust NTA.
We spoke with one of the trainers, Joan Jonas, about her approach to the program.
What I'll be doing is initially we're going to be speaking with the young persons, trying to get from them their interest in entrepreneurship. If it is that they're interested in going forward, then we're going to go have a full-blown session with them where we will instruct them as to how to identify business opportunities, how to actually go about doing your market research to see whether or not that business is feasible. And in starting the business, then we're going to be providing coaching. So we're going to be holding their hands. We're going to be helping them to prepare business plans. And then from the business plan stage, we're going to actually have them mapping out that business to start that business. At the end of it all, they should have a registered business.
Through the REAP program, we are mobilizing our young persons, well, a percentage of our young persons, to have them engage in this program on a long-term basis.
So how can persons access the program? Dr. Blake explains.
The selection for participation in this program is done on many levels. In fact, the NYS, 4-H Club, churches, community groups, they're all out there in the field. They recognize persons who have an interest in entrepreneurship, especially agricultural entrepreneurship, and they could direct them to either NYS or 4-H offices. There is an application form that is completed. It is also verified by a justice of the peace or a public notary figure. And that comes in, we do the analysis, and we select our cohort.
The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries has endorsed the Rural Youth Economic and Empowerment Program, REAP, saying it provides young people with opportunities for self-actualization and economic growth.
Our future as a nation can only be safeguarded if we equip our young people today with the tools and skills necessary to build and grow Jamaica for future posterity, for our future posterity and prosperity.
The initial projection for the REAP program was $120 million, targeting 3,000 young persons. $60 million have been put up front by the Development Bank of Jamaica, the National Youth Service and the Jamaica 4-H clubs to kickstart the program. But Dr. Blake is making an appeal for more financial support to reach the remaining 2,490 youngsters.
And we are actively seeking partnership as we roll throughout the 3 years, so that there are many people in corporate Jamaica who want to come on to ensure we get to where we plan, which is 120 million.
And the participants are looking forward to the opportunities to be had from the program.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I guess this will be a good program to venture into that world.
I'm going to pursue bee-wearing, and I'm looking forward to branch off on any other activities or employment which I can go about. Trying to gain as much as I possibly can from this training exercise.
Led by this administration, Jamaica is serious about our commitment to economic growth and job creation. And in that regard, our young people must be part of the revolution and the new vision to make this country thrive and grow and increase in beauty and prosperity.
pay your taxes, it does a lot of things, like keeping our schools running, maintaining the justice system, fixing our roads, and ensuring that our medical facilities are in full operation. Tax Administration Jamaica is consistently working to make it easier for you to make your contribution to all these services. Here's the latest on their most recent upgrade.
The future of tax services is here. Taxpayers having the power to do business at their fingertips. It's thanks to a number of online services that come with the completion of a project done in 3 phases within 2 years to improve the tax administration system. Through the Revenue Administration Information System RAISE project, Tax Administration Jamaica has been able to roll out more value-added services. Since September 5, 2016, the list of online services have extended to include stamp duty and transfer tax, withholding taxes, environmental protection levy, betting, gaming and lotteries taxes, and trade and business licenses. Persons conducting property transactions will now be able to make payments for stamp duty and transfer tax at any TAJ office island-wide. But document processing is only done at 3 locations: Stamp Office on Harbour Street and the Maypen and Montego Bay tax offices. As part of the service enhancement through the RAISE platform, applying a Vermilion stamp to documents will now be replaced with the use of a barcode endorser, which allows for these documents to be validated online. In respect of withholding taxes, these will all be managed via the RAISE platform. Taxpayers are able to file all withholding tax returns and pay their balances, as well as generate and/or claim withholding certificates from their online account. The withholding tax types include interest, dividends, contractors' levy and withholding tax on specified services, management fees, royalty and other miscellaneous taxes withheld at source. Additionally, prescribed persons will no longer be required to file a withholding tax on interest quarterly return, as the RAISE will be able to process the quarterly refund based on the filing of the monthly returns. Improvements through the Revenue Administration Information System RAISE platform is also changing how racing, lotteries and sports betting and gaming are administered. The changes include having persons in the betting, gaming and lotteries industry filing returns based on a due date. Other enhancements include weekly submission of returns being standardized, penalties charged for late payment, and demand notices issued for outstanding amounts. TAJ's rollout of RAISE 3 also allows for trade and business licenses to be managed through the new system, and persons can submit their applications and return when applying for a trade license. And in the event that a taxpayer does not apply for a renewal, the system will automatically generate an assessment. In ensuring the smooth rollout of the new online services, the TAJ prepared its staff through training. They also engaged several stakeholders such as the National Land Agency, Incorporated Master Builders Association, Jamaica Bankers Association, Bank of Jamaica and Jamaica Stock Exchange. Tax Administration Jamaica, raising the bar, improving service delivery through a modernized tax system.
In a democracy, people choose their leaders by voting. But after our leaders have been elected, we need to ensure we keep up to date with government happenings. One way this can be done is through accessing public sector documents. With the passing and implementation of the Right to Know Act, citizens have been given the legal right to access official government papers. Why is your right to know so critical? Well, access to information provides citizens with the knowledge to address public issues. It also reveals the basis for government decisions. This means we are empowered to make the requisite checks, thereby playing our role in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Life is all about making decisions, choosing from a number of options to do a particular thing, which may result in a specific outcome.
It can be difficult, but there are 4 things you can do to help make that decision.
Stop. Check out what's happening and remind yourself to think before acting.
Think.
Make sure you're aware of the choices, all the advantages and disadvantages. Then think about the consequences.
Act.
Choose the best option and do something about it.
Review.
Finally, review what you have done and determine if it was good or bad. That way, you'll be in a better position to make the next decision, whether big or simple.
Today's show has come to an end, but information from JIS is always at your fingertips. Visit our website at jis.gov.jm. Follow us on Twitter at JIS News or like our Facebook page. Got feedback or comments on today's show? Send us an email at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.